Okie dokie, this is the second hour. This is 2D Hard Way. I am your host, Donovan Sadiq, with my partner in crime, DK, which you can catch on Sundays at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. She is talking the real, and I'm going to tell you this. Her likes just keep going up, the interaction, everything that's going on. If you want to hear the real, please, I strongly recommend that you tune in to DK on Sundays. If you're just lounging around the house, football season's over. You know the Lakers ain't in the playoffs, so there's no point in watching basketball.
What's a Laker?
A Laker? It's a bird.
Oh.
So, from Minnesota.
I just want to tell everybody, I normally don't sit like this with my legs crossed, me some, snacky snacks and something to drink. But today I'm doing that. Yes,
and this segment's doing that because I lead this segment, and
I don't know how involved I want to be in this segment.
It's going to be good.
I'm a spectator like y'all.
Yes, we are talking about black women are being snatched, bald, not being kidnapped, not being taken someplace. They are being snatched, bald, and of their own fruition. That's how they're doing it. Belle, where's your lace front? She ain't got it. Belle the Wonder Pup is here. She made us stop by. But I want you guys to take a look at this video. And in all the years that you guys have heard me so-called complain, which wasn't a complaint, I have been saying for years, black women, you are beautiful the way you are. If you have strong, hard, key hair, and that's what you were issued, just deal with it. Beautiful, thick hair. When women have thick hair, that's a good thing. And how do I know this? My aunt's a beautician, and DK is a former beautician. So she knows what we're talking about here. So I want you guys to take a clip. And this is the kind of stuff that you can agree with me or disagree with me. But I think it is sheer madness and insanity. Take a look at this clip and tell me what you think. So we just saw this clip of these women that are losing their hair literally because they want to look Negropean.
Okay. Yes.
Now, I don't know who told them that or what told them that. Is it really worth, ladies? I really want you to understand this. Is it really worth you losing what hair that you were issued to look like something you really aren't anyway? And I'm going to put up I want you to look at this other clip right now. It's playing behind us. For those of you guys that remember, this was the episode of I'm Gonna Do Sucka where Cherry...
I know I got to have it.
Okay. Now, Cherry in the scene, she's this beautiful woman he meets at the club, but he gets her home. Come to find out, she is nothing of what he thought she was going to be. And he was nothing that he said he was going to be. Because remember, he said that he was going to be 12 inches, and he was like, I don't really exactly have 12. And she's like, well, no, since we're being honest. Doop, doop, takes the eyes out, the butt comes off, the breast comes off, the hair comes off. And so what I'm saying is, and I got a professional right here, and I'm going to ask you real quick, and the thing is, the damage that you guys are doing to yourself, not only losing your hair follicle, but some of this glue that you use to lace these things on and fool us, getting into your skin and destroying a lot of your, it's cancerous. I mean, Countess Vaughn, who was on the Parkers, she was here's a woman who can afford to have good weaves. And she was being poisoned by the very stuff that she thought. Now, Dee, as a professional person, and you've heard me... Yeah. You did that on purpose, didn't you? You have heard me rant for years about how I do not like weave. And it's not that I don't like weave because it's stupid or it's ugly. You look like a Morlock. If you don't know what a Morlock is, this is a Morlock. That's what it looks like. I'm sorry. However, I've ranted about that for years, but what I'm actually saying is, hey, we got to stop doing this. We got to be. How can you say you're proud of being black? And it's funny how black women. Oh, you got black. You're out there. You guys are in the front lines. You guys decide. That. And you talk about brothers don't like sisters. You guys don't even like yourselves. You don't even look like a black woman. So for years you've seen me rant on that.
I have.
As a professional, do you not think it is ethically wrong for these beauticians to continually do the damage that they're doing without informing their client, what's best for them?
Yes, I do think that is ethically wrong, and I don't have a cosmetology license anymore, but I used to. And one of the things they would tell us, and as we were training to become a licensed cosmetologist, is do what's best for the client.
Do what's best for the client.
Whatever that is, in turn, you're doing what's best for you.
Right.
Now, let's just say, for instance, somebody, I was still licensed, somebody comes to my chair, I take their hat off, and I saw the condition, with the edges gone and all of that. They're ethically.
Well, wait. Let me ask you first, real quick. When you get a client and they come in, the first thing you do is what? You inspect their hair. Make sure it's washed.
Yeah, make sure it's clean. It doesn't have any, bugs or
bumps,
any scalp condition,
irritations,
any of that kind of stuff, right? And especially pertaining to the service you're going to render.
About to render.
Right. So, yeah, you're supposed to do all of those things. Now, I had some of the girls that we see now with the bald spots and the plugs and stuff missing. I personally wouldn't continue to do that because ethically it is wrong. As a stylist, a cosmetologist, you are supposed to also educate the client. Now,
so what would you say to somebody?
I would say, like the girl that showed her video, she's actually, her name is, I forget, the razor chick somebody.
Yeah.
And
I'll put it up.
She specializes in hair restoration from these women and some of these girls going and all these other stylists snatching their hair out by putting glue and weaves and stuff in there. So I would tell them, let's focus on growing hair back and getting your scalp back healthy to see if we can, nurture our own hair. That's what I would say. But then there's the other side of ethics, which is money. You know how much some of these women pay for weave?
A decent weave. I'm saying decent. The minimum. That's what I'm saying. People that have weaves should not have them, and that's why they're damaging their hair so bad because they really can't afford to have these weaves.
And that's true too.
Yeah,
right.
A decent weave, and I'm talking about bare minimum, $400.
Right. And so there's the other side of the ethics question. Okay. Somebody comes to me, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Okay. Somebody comes to me and says, I need a weave or whatever. And then they pull their hat off, and I sat. I'm like, shit, I'm getting 4, 5, 6 bills to do this. I'm going to do it. Okay. I don't care about damaging her. I just care about the money that I'm going to get. And I know that because she probably, listen, I don't care. We can fight all day. For somebody to do with their head what we've seen, you got low self-esteem to where you will allow somebody to continue snatching your hair out. Some of these women's head,
they're not even as old as we are,
look like the head of a woman
Mr. Magoo.
Or in her 90s, a woman who's been through life, lose their hair. I mean, that's how some of these heads look. And so, if you're a stylist on the other end, you're not turning down $500, $600, $700, $800. Well, one bald-headed problem.
But by not doing that, don't you think that would come back to you as a beautician to where you're not going to get that?
There's the other side of it too.
You're going to get a bad reputation.
There's this other side of it too. You have clients who say, I don't care about that. I just need the silky flowing hair. I know my head is a mess under here while I'm coming to you. Don't worry about my scalp. I just need you to plug me up, whatever you do to the wigs and all. I need you to do that.
But what about health concerns later on down the road?
Doesn't matter. I'm not worried about that. I don't like my hair anyway. Whatever they're saying, I need you to hook me up. And so some stylists are like, well, if you like it, I love it. But then there's the other side, like on the videos that we saw with the girls who got their scalp damaged. I'm pretty sure people are wanting to know, well, damn, who did this to your head? Oh, whoop-de-whoop up at the shop of, blah, blah, blah. She did. Okay, we need to make sure people know not to go to her. Because in those videos I was sending you, one of the ladies, she was 31, I think, the girls. She said that most of the women in her church were bald because they had the same stylist. And so this stylist is just damaging people. Ripping her out.
And just breaking up relationships.
And we're not talking about... It says the difference between hair breakage and the difference, like you said, follicle damage. Right. When you have follicle damage, more than likely, that hair is not coming back, and it's definitely not coming back when they left. Right.
Now, ladies that are listening and watching, I want you guys to think about this. Some of these ladies that are in this video is 40 years old.
I mean, young 30s.
Young 30s. Now, ask yourself this. Losing all your hair and looking like Sweet Pea from Popeye.
You know what?
With a little thing. I mean, don't think about that. Is really worth. I mean, you women are beautiful. You're young and you're vibrant. To have no hair and you're not 40 years old, is a man really worth that?
Malcolm X asked a very poignant question many, many years ago, and he says, "Who taught you to hate yourself?"
Right.
And so I think that's where the issue is, and the question is, somewhere down the line or up the line, however you want to go, somewhere somebody has taught black women that your hair is not good enough. Some people would even argue way back to Madam C.J. Walker, who is, was the first black woman millionaire. Well, she didn't actually invent the hot comb. It came from Paris, but she revolutionized it here for black women. So some people would even argue as far back as her. She had all these products and stuff, and her thing was her sales pitch. In fact, she was also credited for starting multi-level marketing. Yeah. Like the Avon model. She was credited doing that. And so her sales pitch was, black women, I know your hair is kinky, it's hard to deal with, and it's right to some degree, because, I'm well versed on that because I studied Madam C.J. Walker, but black women back then had a lot of issues. Our diets were bad. So we have issues where we're causing our hair to be brittle and falling out. Right. And so instead of her focusing on telling women, okay, we need to eat better, let's, find some natural stuff. Well, some of her products were natural, but she taught us, straighten your hair. Yeah. Don't deal with having to rake through your hair. And I'll be honest with you, if I don't do certain things in my hair, I'm raking through my hair. Sure. But it's just a learning process. So from that time, some people will probably argue, well, that's where you learn to hate yourself. Because you're just frustrated. In slavery, y'all saw Miss Anne with all this nice flowing hair, and then maybe your sister who was, masses. Well, they had all this beautiful hair.
But see, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that.
Okay.
And this is why.
I'm going to eat this chip as you do.
Because even though Miss Anne has the nice flowing hair, Master is still coming down to the slave shack to get with you, regardless of how your hair looked.
That's right.
Because he's looking at that big booty.
That's right. But I personally, as I'm eating this chip, a lot of times you hear people say, oh, well, she's mixed. So good hair. Or you have a good grade of hair.
Yeah, I've seen people that mix that have bad hair.
But, so that what that's telling somebody with hair such as myself, or somebody who's not mixed or has the long, curly, flowing hair, that sends a message to me as well. Your hair is not good. Okay. Your hair is undesirable. Because when we see on TV, Eli talked about Beyonce and them earlier, but they got this long, and Beyonce has hair, believe it or not, long hair. But we see them with this blonde hair. It's flowing, it's straight. And so it sends a message to us, oh, maybe I need to do the same. A lot of people wouldn't walk around with their hair like mine. Right.
Now, and this goes back to what I say, a lot of black women are full of shit. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. I'm just saying it for what it is. You talk about strong, independent black women, and yet you do not want to wear your hair in an Afrocentric way. You have a daughter. I had to ever see Diana walk around with a wig on her head or her hair being straightened a certain way.
And you, but
But how did she learn that?
She learned that from me, and I told the story once before on my show. Back in the 90s, when it was cool to have your little blonde finger waves and your hair was short, like
your saucer cut.
Not all of that. Well, when the girls with the short hair was coming, Johnny and all of them. My hair was honey blonde and all that other stuff. Right. And one day, and my friend, my good friend, her hair was honey blonde as well. And so one day, my daughter, she says, Mommy is such and such white. Now, she's my color. My friend's my color. She says, is she white? I said, why would you ask me if she's white? Well, because my hair is blonder than mine. Right. And from that point, I said, okay. I see what you're doing, right. And so I stopped dyeing my hair blonde. Okay. And then I started to embrace more of Afrocentric. And I didn't want to teach her that there was something wrong with her. In fact, when she was, my daughter's hair is thicker than mine. Yes. I had a petition, because I would take her to get her hair straightened and stuff. Not perm, but hot comb. Mm-hmm. She said, girl, why don't you go and put a perm through her hair and start raking through that baby head? Now, my daughter was like 3.
Yeah, they don't need that.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, I don't know how serious that is, but but this is a beautician telling me that, basically sending a signal to me and my daughter, this child's hair is nappy as hell. It's unruly, and you need to do something to make life easier for everybody. Let me go and throw some perm on here.
No, why don't you go ahead and do your job?
Right, but that's, so we go back to the question, who taught you to hate yourself, or why are black women not embracing their hair as they should? Now, in all fairness, there are some women who will argue, it's easier in Kenya. I have a lot of hair.
You're a lazy bitch. You're a lazy bitch, but go ahead.
Those are his views, y'all.
Yeah, I'm just saying. We do stuff like that. It's easier. You're a lazy bitch.
I'm saying some people would say that it's easier to do. I would imagine it is easier to throw a wig on your head.
We had grandmothers that used to do that.
Yeah, to me, I could see how it would be easier. But I feel like I would be covering up who I am.
Right. And throw a wig on your head, can you get
That's just me, though.
But can you get an Afrocentric wig?
Yeah, you can. They sell Afrocentric. They absolutely, actually black wig designers that sell wigs that look more like your hair.
I'm glad you said that. You know why?
Why?
Because as well as anybody else, I have all kinds of costumes in here, and I'm in full costumes.
Lord.
And you have my Bob Marley wig.
Lord, have mercy.
I have my straight thing wig. Now, if I do these things, why is it that I would get laughed at, but yet we're not supposed to laugh at women who look almost exactly the same? And in my defense, I do look better than some of these women here. Okay?
I think you would get laughed at because it's just a social thing where you expect women to wear wigs and you really don't expect men to, although things are changing.
Right.
But, I don't know. Like I said, to each his own as far as how you wear hair, but I think we're in denial. And let's remember, y'all, this is his segment. This ain't my segment. I'm just
this is my segment.
Okay? People would be in denial to say that there's no self-hate going on there. Right. I think there's a little bit of self-hate. Especially,
I think there's a lot of self-hate.
Especially when you will allow somebody to snatch your ass bald head repeatedly.
And pay them to do it.
And pay them good money to do it. I'm not talking about a plug, because, most of us have gotten our hair braided throughout our life.
And it's so tight. And
has had a plug come up missing. Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. But you don't keep having plugs come up missing to where your ass is looking like a Jason Voorhees.
Right. Jason Voorhees
when he came up out on Friday the 13th,
Right. Right. But let me ask you this, okay? You have experience as a beautician. I'm a chocolate skin man, okay? I got tan from being out in the thing already, but I'm a chocolate skin man. You have some sisters that are dark. My grandmother was dark. I'm talking about boot black.
Florida Evans black?
Darker than that.
Okay.
We used to call him Blurple.
Miles Davis black?
Yeah.
Okay.
My grandmother was Blurple, but beautiful woman. Okay? If she came up to you and said, "Oh, I want a blonde wig," as a beautician, and you're somebody that's supposed to know beauty, and what would you tell a person like that? If I came to you and said, I want some blue hair. Okay, well, I would always say this, because this is just a fair answer. Mm-hmm. How much you paying? No. In all fairness, beauty is an eye of the beholder. So if that woman felt that would make her beautiful, it's not really a lot I should do to try to change her perception. Sure. However, I could take the opportunity to try to educate her and maybe show her some different options and saying, well, that's a nice color, but maybe have you thought about some of these colors in regards to skin tone? Sure. To make it look a little bit more natural. I understand you want to zhuzh it up a little bit or whatever. That's the conversation I would have, but I don't think it's necessarily my job. Now, if I said she wants something that's harmful to her, then it is my job to change her mind and try to, but it's not really my job to change her perception of beauty. So you don't think it's harmful for her that she walks out of the beauty shop looking like Bozo the Clown? And she ain't going to walk out of the shop looking like Bozo the Clown. And if I did it, but I would send it to Bozo the Clown shop to get it done, but not can't put my name out there. So basically you would agree with me in that it's sort of harmful self-esteem wise. This woman looks like a damn fool and nobody's saying anything to her. Like what you just said, by giving her suggestions, like maybe this is a little bit better. Again, Donovan, we agree. Mm-hmm. As a stylist, you ain't turning down no bill. I ain't talking about no supercuts money. Right. I'm talking about, my daughter's friend, the one that you call your Moroccan queen. Yes. This girl is already gorgeous. For her birthday, she wanted a long blonde weave.
This dude charged her 7 bills.
She paid it.
And took the shit out the next day.
Well, she's from Morocco. They got money.
And she got long hair. No, it's not that she worked. She wanted to do something different for her birthday.
See, that was my woman. I'd be kicking her ass.
But listen, me and my daughter tried to tell her, don't do it. It's going to hurt. This, that, and the other. She couldn't stand how tight this man braided her hair. The next day, she took this wig or weave or whatever it was off. And
she had straight hair, so it's going to be tighter.
The hair is already down to here, but she wanted to do something different. But I guess what I'm trying to say is the stylist was like, shit, this motherfucker finna pay me $700.
Yeah.
You know, and instead of me saying, you know what, why don't we try to do something with your hair, something different? Because, you know, that's a lot of money. It's like, I mean, braided the girl hair so tight the neck, it wasn't in her hair 24 hours. And she gave that man $700. She can't go back and say, you know what?
Right.
I didn't like this after all. Can I get a refund?
Right. And speaking of things like that, have you been reading in the stories, and this is related to what you do, how a lot of these women are, and maybe you've experienced this yourself as a beautician, and I'm bringing this stuff up because... Ex-beautician, right. But I'm bringing this stuff up because this is prevalent and it's going on in the community, believe it or not. I know you want to believe that a lot of black women are going to jail for hair theft, which is ridiculous. Have you ever experienced or heard of where Boomquisha comes into your shop and she wants you to do her hair and you do it and then she ain't got the money to pay it?
Actually, I have had that happen to me, yes.
Okay. So
I've had that happen to me.
Enlighten on that. And why is that such a bullshit move to do?
Well, it's a bullshit move, and I got my cosmetology license when I was 19. So I was very young.
So what, 2 years ago?
Yeah, exactly. I was very young and naive, just in business and just all that kind of stuff. Trusted people. Yeah. Had this girl, asshole, come into the shop, and she wanted her hair done and did all of that. Because typically when you get your hair done, you pay after the service is rendered.
Plus tip.
All that. Styled her. I gave her permanent. I did all of it.
Because you're trying to drum up that business. Because it's a business for you. You're an independent contractor.
Yes, I did her right. Okay. After I whipped off the apron or whatever you call it.
You're like, yes.
Oh, well, I'm going to have to pay you 2 weeks because that's when I get paid.
Then why are you in the beauty shop today? Hello?
Now, the 19-year-old me was like,
okay,
well, all right. Which she never did come back. I hope you're watching. I want my money with interest.
Right.
But the 46-year-old me would have poured a whole lot of water on her hair.
And pulled your work out.
Yes. She would have went out there looking like the chicken she came in looking like. But, yeah, so I've had people do that to me.
I mean, but as a beautician, how does that affect you as, because you're an independent contractor. That's your business. That's what you do. Other than money.
And I would say this, too. As I said, I was 19 when I got my cosmetology license. I didn't renew it because I had got so discouraged with how customers treated me, how
taking advantage of
our shop owners would connive, and that's how I ended up meeting your aunt's friend, Jerry.
Okay.
Me and Jerry go way back. Way back. 19. We actually ended up in 2 shops together.
Okay.
And both of those owners were dirt bags. To where we got up out of there. And so I would just run into that.
Running after the rent and everything.
No, not even that. Just stealing your clients. I mean, the last shop we was at together, the owner wanted to fight us. And this lady was a big-time holy roller at the church.
Black woman.
It was very...
Case closed.
Well known in the community, but she was trying to fight all the dollars in shop because she thought we was after her man and just the worst. And so my last shop that I worked at was about 20-ish or so. The guy ended up he owned the shop. He was the Mexican mafia, and so I got caught up in the nonsense because one of the other stylists in there was screwing the dude. He was buying her boobs and all kind of stuff.
And she's paying for her boobs.
Listen, ever since then, I've made it a point not to, getting people business. I was never like that anyway.
Right.
But she's raving to me about he's Mexican mafia and, he's this and he's this. Do you know the next day, this man came in the shop. It was just me and him. He sits in the chair. So I understand Brett was talking about me. I'm young. And I was like, I didn't know what to say.
He's like Uncle Sugar to...
No.
Okay,
no, and he says, she's smart. She keep her mouth shut. And I suggest you do the same. And I was like, I played it off.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know what he was talking about. But then I later found out he more than likely had the shot bug. This lady was telling me all kind of stuff.
Right.
And so the next day I didn't want to make a scene.
You just made it a nice thing.
I said, you know what? Stuff? My mom wants me to go back to school. I'm going back to school. I'm hanging the hair thing up. And I didn't back. I said, this is too much for me.
Right.
So
I mean, basically that is a very messy ordeal. Because
getting messy over some hair.
Well, what I found out in our community, let's state it to our community is, even when we try to do something positive, we fuck each other over.
Now, if I would, all the wisdom that I've acquired since then, I would be a very good hairstylist.
Right.
I would know better how to deal with people.
Right. Of course, and that comes with time.
That comes with time. But I mean, just on the other side of doing hair, styling hair, however you want to call it, it's to me, it's a two-way street. It has to be, especially if I'm a stylist, I have to put the needs of the client first. A lot of times that it might cost you to make some money. I mean, to lose some money, rather, to turn somebody away.
Right.
But I would love to do your hair, however.
Wouldn't you rather turn that person away than rather seek a lawsuit down the road?
I would rather turn that person away for a couple reasons. One, I don't want to ruin my reputation. Right. Two, I don't want to get a lawsuit. Three, I don't want to harm them. You know what I'm saying? But it's again, like I said, I mean, I'm not a money hungry person. But if you're on Instagram or Facebook and you see these stylists, they're doing any and everything, they're getting big money to do that, and so of course they're not going to care about you have a scalp condition or you got alopecia. Traction alopecia is what it's called.
Or your skin is irritated.
Yeah, it's called alopecia when the wigs and the braids and stuff are snatching your hair out. They don't care that you have that situation. They just know that after the service is done, you're going to pay me upwards of $1,200 depending on what I do to you.
So at the end of the day, would you say that it is worth getting weaves and...
as the young lady said, what's her name? The razor chick, she's called out of Atlanta. She's saying that wigs and weaves should be every now and then. It should be a temporary thing, like the one she showed the girl with the glue. Somebody glued the wig onto her
she had to use a solution to get it off.
Oil, because you use oil to get the glue off.
Petroleum-based.
To not cause further damage. But she says this type of wig, or unit is what they call it, is for somebody who's acting.
Right.
Maybe they're going to do it real quick,
Right. You want to make it
for
natural.
movies or something, yeah. But this is not something you wear, for a month or so. How do you expect your hair to grow back and breathe if it's smothered under plastic and glue?
My leader calls it a hair hat, and you put a hat on top of it, because that's when you have your hair then. But that poor girl in that video, all she had was a baby Huey.
Well,
and I just felt so bad.
That's a lot of people though, and they're sacrificing their own beauty and health for the false idea of beauty. And again, to me, it's always going to go back to the question that Malcolm X posed: who taught you to hate yourself? That's where it comes from. And we've been taught to hate our natural selves. We've been taught more European you look. Negropean. The more you look like that, the more acceptable to society are. And in some instances, I'm going to put it back on you, not you per se as a black man. We look more acceptable to you because we know somewhere down the line you desire, the white woman with the blonde hair, And so if I can't beat Sally or Becky, as some people say, I'm going to join her. Okay. I need my man to look at me, so I'm going to come home with the wig and all this makeup. Well,
but is it your health? Like I said, I can look at you. Look.
Let me ask you this before you answer. Okay, so you see this phenomenon over the last couple of years of these women getting these big, giant pumpkin booties.
Yeah.
Now starting to see the other side of it. Did you ever see the interview with K. Michelle?
Yeah.
Where she's going through this series, K. Michelle being a singer.
And she's trying to get the ass plants out.
And she can't get it all out. She's saying now
her knees
they got
to
cut tissue out of her butt. Because, whatever she's getting injected into her. Yeah. But it's, as you said, it's starting to cause health. And so when you're getting a big butt, it doesn't sound like it's going to be unhealthy at the time. I mean, K. Michelle's not in her 40s?
No, she's like in her early 30s.
And she's having the health issues of an old-ass woman due to
hurting, breakdown,
right? Thinking that this was attractive, but sacrificing her health. And so, is it worth the health? No, but it's hard to tell somebody that now who maybe don't have high self-esteem, who is thinking, I would look so much better if I have this plastic and glue on my head. They're not thinking up the line that perhaps, not even perhaps, but the glue is seeping into my pores.
It's going into your system.
It's going into my system.
I'm going to be having children, and that's going to affect the baby fetus. Or
like you said, cellular, your nervous system, all that is going to be affected. Which is why, another reason why I stopped putting perm on my hair, because they say that black women disproportionately have fibroids, and it is believed due to the relaxer that you keep putting in your hair every 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how fast your hair grows. Right. Because we can't have no new growth. We need to have our edges straight. And so I don't do that to myself anymore.
Right.
Because I don't want to eventually suffer the effects of putting chemicals in my skin or in my body.
Right. I like natural.
That's right.
Hey,
all
natural.
All natural.
And luckily, genetically blessed. You are genetically blessed. You get it from your mama, you and your sister.
All natural. Which is another thing, too. This is a sidebar. But I don't understand, if you already got a booty, why would you want to add some more booty?
Right. I'm telling you, if your sister got any more ass, I don't think I can help.
She caused an eclipse.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, it's just, I never understood that. Like, why would you want to add? You look like a freak of nature. And it's just, you got a little bit of a booty. Sometimes it's difficult to find clothes that fit right. But why would you want to make that
And
worse?
do you really want to sit on the toilet for a half an hour wiping your ass?
You know what?
I'm just saying. And I know you women are trained to wipe in certain directions, depending on if you're doing number 1 or number 2.
Well, I have nieces. Come over and use your bidet.
Always welcome to come use my bidet.
Yes, use
very refreshing, especially on a hot day like this. Sit on that thing.
You be like, why is my water bill so high?
But you barbarians that like a dry water, you guys keep on doing that.
Whatever.
Okay, so
whatever.
No, but I think that's really enlightening. And if you had to tell a young person right now thinking about getting a weave or something, what would you tell them as a professional? Somebody who
if I had to have, they said, a consultation with somebody, I would just ask them what, not to persuade them one way, but what brings you in today? What makes you want a wig or a weave? And it depending on what they would say, I would try my best to educate them. If they say, well, I don't like my hair.
If it's a young person, I'm talking about like 19, 18, they think they need this thing.
I will first of all say you don't need it. Okay. Now, again, unless they was bald or something like that. But it's not something you need. Now, if it's something you want, that's great. But this should not be something to totally disguise who you are.
Right. Here's the repercussion.
Yeah, I understand if you want to do it every once in a while, that's great. Sure. But don't ever make it a habit of suppressing who you really are.
Now, how many times have I said, there's nothing wrong with the weave as long as these women show their children their hair every now and then? Yeah, I said that all the time.
No, I mean, absolutely. I mean, again, it's to each his own, but I think people, especially women who are wearing the wigs, hell, some dudes now, I think you just need to ask yourself, am I wearing the wig because I am just looking for some little spice, something different, or am I wearing it because I don't like myself? I think those are the questions that need to be answered and answered honestly. And to your point, a lot of these women do have young girls who are watching them and they say, well, mama don't like herself. Right. So it must be something wrong with me. Mm-hmm. Let me go on and get a wig. I tell you all the time, my sister is an elementary school teacher, and she teaches the grade, and often girls come in with weaves, but the weaves and extensions and all of that. So,
and that's very, very, very sad commentary because remember when we were coming up, like if you came to school, I could see the hot iron burns on your ear and stuff like that. You don't see that anymore. Right. But what we are seeing is these young girls with bad acne, fucked up faces, and they say a lot of that could be from the glue and thing that's going on in the system.
It's absolutely from the glue. Can you imagine putting that on? I mean, and a lot of people don't understand is your head is like the epicenter of everything. And so
that's where your brain is.
Yeah, it's seeping in, and that's seeping in, and it's seeping down, going all throughout your body. Yeah. And then listen. This is where y'all might get mad at me. Do some of y'all know we can see the glue?
Yeah, exactly.
Some of y'all know?
Especially when that track flips.
We can see the track. Mm-hmm. We can see do y'all know that?
And do y'all know when y'all got that bad weave, you can see that like cone head at the top? I'm just saying you're not fooling. And I'm saying this, I know it's joking. I'm trying to be serious at the same time because it's like you're not fooling us. Because you're going to do this stuff. That's why I say there's a difference between people who can afford to weave and the people who can't.
I just say, one of my favorite songs that I listen to a lot when I'm working out is Robert Glasper's rendition of So Beautiful by Music. And so toward the end of the song, Robert Glasper brings in a conversation that he was having with Music. And Music was saying that he really wrote the song because he wanted women to know, because there's so much pressure on women to be this and be that, that be who you are. You're beautiful the way you are. And he said it doesn't matter how they see you, it's how you see yourself. And so I would just say to people, to women, don't stop looking to be validated by something or someone else. Validate yourself and everything else will fall in a line. I mean, plain and simple, because you're never going to be good enough for somebody who will never deem you good enough.
Right.
No wig, no makeup. I wear makeup,
Very little, but...
Very little. But, I've just never been the type of person that has a face full of makeup. But if you're wearing those things because you don't like who you are, that would be a prime opportunity to get to like yourself and say, no, I look like an Instagram model who has gone above and beyond to Photoshop herself and to make you think that she is perfect. No, I don't have a perfect nose, whatever it is. I don't have flawless skin. That's fine. My hair is not silky smooth. That's fine too. I don't have this big giant pumpkin booty. That's okay too. But what I do have is what God gave me, and I'm going to rock it until the wheels fall off. And if nobody else like it, too bad.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm part of a group called Lotus Inc., and that's a cancer group for cancer survivors and things like that. And look at the statistics of black women that are getting high rates of cancer also now. And that's been a phenomenon the last 15 years. It's
diet, it's lifestyle. I said about
and
the
chemicals coming into your bodies.
It's the chemicals inside of your body. And so, again, it's like, what is the perception of beauty worth if it's ultimately going to cost you your life? Not supposed to go. We're seeing a lot of us, especially, go earlier than we're supposed to.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Craig so what is it going to cost you? Do you want to impress other people so bad to where you're going to cost yourself your life?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I used to be young once. Yesterday.
Yeah.
I used to be young, so I understand there's a lot of pressure on women, especially to do this and look that way and do, suck it in when you're taking the pictures and all of that.
Well, D, whatever happened to this? Now, I've known you for over 30 years. Now, I've known your sister for 30-something years. Y'all don't seem to have a problem getting men. I don't see you're
never going to have a problem getting a man when you don't have a problem being who you are. You're going to have a problem being a man trying to be getting a man trying to be somebody else. Because y'all ain't shit. Right. Y'all can sense a woman that has low self-esteem.
Absolutely.
And most
especially the pimps. That's what they look for.
Exactly. Or the dudes who try to run game on her. All I got to do is tell her she pretty all day. And, maybe take her to get her some shoes, and give her the perception of the good life. Right. Screw her, do her, and leave her. And then I with some more scars. And then she goes and puts on more makeup and more wigs because evidently I didn't look good enough. And so now I'm going to do it more. But when you're yourself, a man who is authentic, to see that, he's like, because, a lot of women will say, well, look at her. How she get him? She playing, she this, that, and the other. She got him because she wasn't doing what you're doing. She wasn't putting on a front that she's got it all together. She's this, that, and the other. She was not afraid to be herself. Men like women who are down to earth. A lot of men will say, and I'm speaking for you at this point, we don't like women who are high maintenance.
No, we don't. Absolutely not.
Because if you high maintenance, that means it comes with a whole lot of nonsense.
And then, for me in particular, I said, you guys were always attractive young ladies. But in my experience of knowing you guys, as you guys get older, you're more attractive as you get older.
Because they say, you should be not going to toot my own horn.
Yeah, no, but yeah.
It's not even about looks. Because I got gray hair. I got little crow's feet. I got all of that, but you become mentally attractive as you get older. You should become spiritually attractive as you get older, because at the end of the day, yeah, you can glue all that stuff, suck, tuck, and all of that. It's going to sag. Mm-hmm. You'll be doing that until you die. So why not work on the other parts of you?
Right. That's exactly what I've been talking about. You're beautiful the way you are. God only issued you, and I'm not a religious person, one uniform. You got to play from your issue.
He says, do not defile your temple. And so a lot of people think, well, that means it's not to smoke and drink. That means a whole lot of stuff.
It means a whole lot of stuff.
It means don't put no glue on your head.
Right.
Or no chemicals on top of your head. Or it means a host of things.
But don't they also say that a woman's hair is supposed to be her crown?
It's supposed to be your glory. Your hair, a woman's hair is her glory. Mm-hmm. How's your hair going to be your glory if you're somebody else's hair? So somebody else's woman hair is your glory.
Right, or you don't have any hair anymore because you damaged it.
That to me is so sad. I mean, really sad to see young women, and even older women, just snatch bald beyond recognition.
And paying for it.
Yeah, because you didn't like who you were.
Right. Like I said, it's a sad commentary, you guys. Please check it out. It is not a phenomenon. This is something that is actually going on in America. And Adee, thank you for your expertise on that.
I tried.
And I just wanted to clarify that because everybody always says, oh, he hates weaving. Yeah, I'm making a joke and stuff. But ladies, what am I really saying? I'm saying you're beautiful the way you're. You don't need that shit. Just come as you are.
It would be helpful, too.
I got to work on my delivery.
No, well, not only that. I mean, your delivery's fine. It would be helpful if more men like you got on that page and saying, listen, we know your kitchen a little nappy times, but we love it. It's okay.
That's right.
It'd be good if more men thought like you. Yeah. And really just got that message out there to women. Girl, you find the way you are. I don't want you walking in Walmart with no pajamas and no house and no bonnet on. But I'm cool with you the way you are.
And don't get me wrong. Yeah, I'm picky and stuff with my type of women. But number one, I love my black women. And I love my natural black women. Yeah, unfortunately, I do have dated women that have weave. But what do I always say? Don't I always complain to you and say, but
they weave stank. I'm just
no. But you know what I mean? Because it's not my... I can't tell her what to do, but I let her know it's not my preference to... I don't like weave. I just let them know that right out the bat.
Just keep professing you're beautiful the way
you're beautiful how you are. And like I said, I've dated a lot of women with weave, and you're thinking, look at all this hair you got underneath here. What's going on here?
Yeah. And sometimes it's getting hot, ladies. Sometimes those weaves be smelling.
Yeah, and summer is coming, and it's 90 degrees today?
It's 90, so 100 degrees today. I couldn't imagine having a wig on my head.
Exactly.
I'd snatch it off.
But you guys, please, and we're going to be following up with this thing, and check out the phenomena that's going on. It is real deal. You ladies are lovely the way you are. You don't need to look Negro-pean. It's fine just to look Negro. There's nothing wrong with that, because that's who we are. Negro being Espanol for black. Check out Dee at 3 p.m. Sundays. I mean, she's gotten the conversation going. She actually talks to you and also responds to your comments and turns and likes. I'm usually there for comedy relief whenever she needs it. If you guys missed her show last, check out Demetra K on YouTube. You can see her show there. And you'll see where I make a comment in regards to how I'm discriminated against because of my Speedo on a beach. I am not allowed to go to any beaches because my junk is a hunk. It made the show. But you can check her out on Sunday.
I heard somebody said it was like finding a needle in a haystack. But sometimes those stories get out there. It's hard to tell them the truth.
It's easy to say it's a needle in a haystack when it's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. Okay, so I guess you would say that, right? Right. Anyway, this is 2D Hardway. You guys check us out. Same time, same bad channel next week. Again, Thursday is the Moreno Valley City Council meeting for the planning, not City Council, but the Planning Commission for the golf course. We really need your support. If you can't make it there, please send us your prayers. We really need this for the community of Moreno Valley, because if we don't get this project, this city is done. Stick or fork in her, we are done. It is officially a warehouse city. Dee is on the right. I am on the left. We're going to catch you guys again next week. See you then. Know where my baby loves me.